Welcome to Ruminations and Revelations. You've arrived, and I'm glad you're here. In this podcast, we talk about and acknowledge the interconnected web of thoughts that may spiral or ruminate through the mind at times, and the revelations that we may come into that shift, expand, and create clarity in the awareness through mental download, conversation, experience, or increased self-awareness. We're going to be working on the mind fascia. Is that a thing? Let's make it one if it's not. Take a breath with me. Close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Inhale through the nose. Slowly exhale through the mouth. Enjoy today's episode. Welcome to your episode. This will probably be my very first posted episode of Ruminations and Revelations. My name is Keena, and I want to first, I'm not sure how I want to go about doing this. Let me see here. There we go. I had to cover up my camera. All right. So I am here for two reasons. I think the first one is to talk about the way that the body responds to and experiences limitations through what feels like physical restrictions or pain, okay? I want to talk about that. That's what I want to talk about today. I think first I'm going to acknowledge some of the insecurities that I am having and ruminations that would have otherwise held me back. I think it'll be something that I want to just acknowledge. Oh shoot, I feel like I need to light a candle. Hold on. Let me go get my lighter so I can light a candle here while I'm recording. Okay. I'm back. Let's see. All right, let me light a candle real quick, because why not? I feel like it's nice to have a candle lit. So I want to talk about some of the limitations that I'm going through that would have otherwise inhibited me from recording this episode. And I'm just going to get past them, right? I clearly got past them because I'm here recording. But had I have let these limitations hold me back, this episode would have never came to y'all. And if I do let them hold me back, it still won't, right? Because there's still things that could get in the way of me actually releasing this episode. So I think that if I acknowledge them and release them, I can put it behind me and release myself from those barriers. So let me move the candle real quick so it's not underneath the camera. Without issue, not too close to my plants. All right. So I want to give a shout out to a few people. For one, I want to give a shout out to Stephanie, Queen Peace Throne. She made these earrings, these lovely earrings I'm wearing. If you're watching the video version of this, then you'll see I got some beautiful earrings here. So I want to give a shout out to Queen Peace Throne for the earrings. She makes the custom earrings, and I got these on her live sale. Secondly, I want to give a shout out to Antoine McNeil, who encouraged me to record this episode. He encouraged me to go ahead and record because I just basically said I think that the editing holds me back from releasing episodes when I record because editing is so much work. And I was like, maybe I'll have to just record unedited. I'll have to release unedited versions of these episodes so that I can get into the habit of getting them out like I want to, because that is the priority, is to get the episodes recorded and released. And I'll have to just be okay with having the flaws in the episodes that I would rather edit out, but that will hold me up. It'll take me another 2 hours to edit, right? 2 hours of dedicated focus time. And I don't know the last time that I've ever sat for 2 hours and had dedicated uninterrupted focus. And so I've recorded episodes, but they have not been released. Okay, so this is the first like podcast episode that I'm releasing. So I want to acknowledge, the insecurity, the rumination, the limiting thought of I have to edit the episodes before I release them. If I don't have them edited to pristine perfection, they can't be coming out. I can't put nothing out like that. You know what I mean? So I want to acknowledge that. So shout out to Antoine just for encouraging me to, do it like 85 South does, how they just release theirs. They put them, the webisodes are not edited, right? And it's actually really cool to watch unedited episodes. I like to watch David Shandy's webisodes, his podcast also, and they're not edited either. Even when people will be like, can you edit this out? Like I remember the Jessica episode with Jessica who does trading, day trading, and she was like, can you edit this part out? And he's like, no, we want to keep it in there. So that's one of the ruminations. Some of the other insecurities or limiting thoughts that would have otherwise held me back from recording this would be the fact that I was taking a nap, and I woke up, I went to sleep watching and listening to videos about octopuses. So random. I was learning about octopuses. I was just like, how do they eat? How do they capture their prey? How are they so smart? I was thinking about these things. This is, and then I went to sleep, right? And I started researching this and I went to sleep. And then when I woke up, so fun fact, octopus, they, one of the things that I was listening to said they traded in their bones for mobility. Okay. This is relevant. Okay. The octopuses, or is that how you pronounce it? Octopuses, the plural. They trade in their bones. They don't have bones. They have no bones. And so they can move into small spaces without limitation, right? Like they can get into crevices and cracks. They can enter to spaces. They can free themselves from being captured and hide from, their predators. They can choose whether or not to fight or to flee or to hide or blend in with, the environment. They know how to use tools. They're, very smart creatures. Their brain is huge, right? And they have so many sensory organs where they can communicate and see, hear, smell, and just be aware. They just have such an awareness because of all of those things. So that was what I went to sleep thinking about. And I woke up and I remembered the conversation I had with my friends. Me and my friends were having a conversation last night about, pain in our bodies and stuff. All right. So that's why I'm here right now, because I had a revelation of that. Okay. That reminded me of the conversation that we had last night. If you don't have some water, go ahead and get you a sip of water. Okay. Like hydrate. Sip up. My water filter died, so I had to buy some bottled water. Take a bigger sip than what I just took, okay? So what I was saying was one of my limitations or ruminations was I just woke up. I woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is something that I should have shared last night with my friends, and I think this would be helpful because I think that part of developing self-awareness and part of healing and growing is that you have to be the one, you have to be the captain of your ship. You have to be the treasure hunter. You have to go ahead and get that device or that shovel, and you have to be the one hunting for your treasure. Okay? What do I mean by that? I mean, I can have a conversation with you and I might recognize and hear and pick up on a lot of things that are being said in the conversation about whatever is going on, right? But I'm starting to realize that I can't give you the answers, right? Like I can't say this is what you should do Because if you're not there yet in your understanding or your awareness, then the things that I'm seeing, they sound like foreign language. They, like let's say if you're hunting for treasure, you're hunting for gold. You might think that, let's see here. Let me think. I won't say gold. I'm going to say you're hunting for precious stones. Okay. And maybe at the beginning of your hunt, you're only looking for the stones that your immediate environment told you to look for, right? They might be like, yeah, look for abalone shells, look for clear quartz, look for amethyst. I don't know, look for opals. So you might only be looking for those things, right? And so you might come across, let's say, hematite, and you might be like, oh, I don't know, this is nothing. You don't recognize it, for the properties that it carries, right? You might come across some red jasper and be like, oh, this is, I don't know what this is supposed to do for me. This is not, you might not recognize that has a significance in that moment, right? The red jasper is there. The hematite is there. You just might not recognize what it is or what it does because you're not looking for it right now. Right now, you're looking for clear quartz, abalone, amethyst, and opals. Okay, that's where your eye is focused on. So, like, let's say that you are asking or you're wanting to know, why is this specific thing happening? Let's talk about pain, because that's where I wanted to go with this. I'd be like, why is I'm gonna tell you from my own experience. There's a particular spot, like just in the middle back of my left shoulder, like in between my shoulder blade and my back, like right where it connects, where it can like bend and, like if I was to do like a chest press, when you pull your elbows back and your shoulder blades, you feel your shoulder blades press out of your spine. Right in between that spot on my left shoulder blade, it hurts. It doesn't hurt anymore, but it was hurting, okay, for like months. Like it was like there was no way that I could press anything into it to free myself from that pain, that persistent pain. It wasn't overwhelming, but it was just there, okay? And I was like, man, like, I don't know why it hurts so bad, right? Why is this hurting? I must have to I don't know, I got to lean on the wall. I have to get a tennis ball to get in there. I have to physically break that up. So imagine that was me treasure hunting, and I am thinking I got to find some amethyst. That is the answer, right? And so I probably came across, this is just metaphor, I probably came across, I'm going to just go with what I was saying. I might have came across some hematite. I might have came across some, what was the other one that I said? Some red jasper, right? Let's say that had the, whatever, maybe let's say that those had the capability of helping me resolve the issue. I wasn't looking for those things. I thought the answer was, something in there. So I went to get a massage. I went to go and get some body work done by my girl, Saret. She hooked me up. She does my body work. She's in Madison at Galacta Center Body Works. She's moving to Colorado, though. So I don't know. This will be out still in January. So you technically have a chance still to book with her if you like. I gotta remember to look at the camera. I can't even see the camera, so I'm like chilling, right? Drink some more water. But anyway, I went to go and get a massage, a CBD massage, like a 90-minute massage, back in November with Saret. Yeah, it was in November. It's like the week before my birthday. And she could feel it. When I was on the table, she felt that tightness in my body. And I never thought of it. I thought it. So here's the thing: my understanding around it changed when I went to go get the massage, right? Like to go to the body work, to get the body work done. The body work session. I went to go get the body work session done. Body work massage. So it wasn't until I went to Sarah and she felt the tightness in my back that I went from thinking about it as pain to thinking about it as tightness. When I thought about it as tightness, then my possibilities of how to resolve it changed, okay? I was like, oh my gosh, thinking about it as tightness, right? So, she was like, okay, she did some kind of magic on my back, okay? Like she pressed into it or something, and then she slowly had me breathe with each breath to, kind of release more and more. So, the release was through the breath and through the body work. And the breath helped to facilitate the space, okay? I want y'all to know that because that's just how it works. And so let me say that again because I know I talk about breath work so casually because I know that it's just an everyday part of my practice. But if it's not a part of your practice, I cannot encourage you enough to incorporate breath work into your everyday practice, because that is the umami, right? Like when people talk about the seasonings and the flavor and the fifth taste, umami, the breath work is the umami to all of your stuff. Like anything that you are trying to work on with your within, you have to start with the breath. I don't know how else to say that or how else to put it, to emphasize it. You have to start with your breath work. If you want to have, I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Release, freedom, liberation, movement, expansion. It all starts with the breath, okay? It's a very important part of yoga. So she gave me the breath work cues. And as I took my breaths, then I found more space for her to do her magic, okay? And so we talked about it briefly, like the history, why, like how long has it been feeling like that, blah, blah, blah. And once we did the breath work, man, the breath is so amazing in the way that it moves through your entire body and liberates you, frees you, okay? So I was like, you know what? As I was on the table, I said, I think that there's something I'm clinging to, I'm holding on to, I'm resisting, and I'm just not letting go. I think that's what it is. And I, to this day, I don't exactly know what it is, but I did let go of a lot, not physically, but just like mentally, like I spent more time intentionally practicing, like just letting go of the need to have control, letting go of the need to have everything just right, letting go of wanting to do everything and be everything. I just had to let go of all of those things. Letting go of expectations of other humans, like that wasn't even necessarily agreed upon. I just let go of those things, right? Like I let go of a lot. And I did feel lighter, right? Like in somehow, some way, that pain is not there anymore, right? And like we left knowing that we were going to have to work on this part of my body some more. But man, like as I went through, like thinking about this pain is not tied to, and there's nothing physically wrong with me. It is literally like something that I am holding on to, that I am being resistant in, and it is causing a tightness in my body because I am like being tight about something. Okay, man. And so I don't exactly know what it is. I mean, I probably had my ideas about what it could have been at that time. When I think back to that month and that year, like this was 2021. When I think about that year, like, yeah, I probably was just holding on to, some stuff that I just didn't want to let go of. And I did let go. So, and when I let go, then the pain the tension that presented itself as pain, it dissipated. It dissipated. And I spent months, okay, like trying to find a spot on the wall to, to just work that spot. And it was like, no matter how much more pain I tried to inflict on myself, or how much more pain I tried to tolerate in order to break up that pain. You know what they say. Well, I don't know if you know what they say, but some people say no pain, no gain. And shout out to my yoga teacher, Raquel. She said, no pain, no pain. Shout out to Judith Hanson Lassiter, Living Your Yoga. No pain, no pain. Okay. Why do we think that we have to go through pain in order to, why do we think that pain is necessary? Yeah, pain happens. Yes, it happens and we get through it. Sometimes it is a side effect, but it's not necessary. Do we have to be discomfortable sometimes to grow? Yes. Sometimes we do. Sometimes we have to lean into the edge of discomfort. Yeah, we do. Sometimes we have to do hard things. Absolutely. But do we have to put ourselves through pain? No, we don't. We shouldn't have to. But we're conditioned to think like that. We're conditioned to believe that we got to cause pain on ourselves in order to get to whatever, no pain, no gain. So that was the most important reason why I'm here to talk right now is, as really as this episode is a response to the conversation that I had with my friend last night. That sometimes the things that present themselves as what we think that it is, of course, it's sometimes more than that or something different than that. And I might be able to say to somebody, here's all of the possible solutions, but I'm realizing that that's not for me to say, because I can't treasure hunt for you. I know that you're looking for your treasure, and I know that I would be robbing you of trying to tell you where the treasure is. I probably don't even exactly know where your treasure is, but I know that you can find your treasure. I know that you have everything you need to discover it. I know that the discovery it reveals itself in layers. It reveals itself as one layer at a time, one question at a time, one curiosity at a time, is how the treasure reveals itself. Just like when you go digging, right? Like if you were to go to the beach and dig in the sand, or to I don't know where people dig, but if you were going to go digging, like you might have to make multiple trips to the same spot. You might have to dig for a few hours only to find one little thing. You might have to change the tools that you're digging with. You might sometimes feel like there's no treasure here. And I'm here to tell you there is, and to keep searching, to keep digging for your treasure. And that's a beautiful thing. The process of finding your treasure is beautiful. It is life-changing, of course. And I'm sure that, we've all gone through our own versions of finding other treasures previously to today, right? Like many of us found treasures throughout the pandemic. We have found, many of us have found freedoms. Some of us have found solitude. Some of us have found career changes. Some of us have found ourselves parenting new children, having babies. Some of us have found new homes, locations to live in and reside, new ways to explore their purpose. And so keep digging for your treasure. And there's going to be feelings of limitation, of it's not going, the knots, right? And I say the knots as knots, like knots, the KNOTS, like that might present themselves physically or mentally as barriers in the body. And there's also the knots that are the NOTS, right? It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's not the right time. It's not possible. Those knots, right? Both will come up. And are they different? Are they even different from each other? You know, or are they one and the same, but just presenting themselves with multiple faces from the same home? You know what I mean? Is there a difference? So yes, the knots will come up and they'll be discomfortable or uncomfortable. I like discomfortable or uncomfortable. I guess I'll use those interchangeably. I don't actually like the feeling, but I'm just saying the word. I like that word. Discomfortable, uncomfortable. You know, the comfort is inside of both of those words. The comfort is in there, right? Like, you know, it's in there. So if you can be uncomfortable, then the comfort is in there. If you can be discomfortable, the comfort is in there as well. So what was I going to say? Oh, the knots. Ask yourself, you know, sometimes, you know, is this real? The mind will trick you. The mind will say, no. This is real pain. No. This is real sickness. No. Everybody, so many other people have the same thing that I'm having. No. Is too hard. And those things might all be true. And it doesn't mean that you still can't find your treasure, right? It might be too hard. And it might be something that everybody else deals with as well. Of course, that's what gives us community. The fact that that none of us have anything completely on our own, that we're just completely like, we all have our own unique set of experiences. Yes. But if you take any one experience and isolate that one thing, then you will find someone else who has that one thing or has that same shared experience. Okay. And that is where community, unity, come into unity. That's where that comes into place, right? And if anything, dig together in community. Find your groups, find your tribe, find your people who you share that with, and use that as fuel. All right, like as you find one discovery, if you realize, oh my gosh, I can dig with I find that I can dig better in this particular surface or texture with this tool. Share that with your people, right? That's what community is. Oh, I can dig better if I burn through the surface, you know. Use the tools. There's many tools. There might be one tool that works better for you. I'm not rambling, but it might feel like it or sound like it. It feels like it a little bit to me. But sometimes it is the ego. The ego will trick you. The ego is there to protect you. The ego is going to say, this is what's going to keep you safe. Don't go digging, because I didn't block this out of your mind for a reason. Okay. Like, I was trying to protect you. Self, I'm protecting you by, giving you these tingly feelings when you try to venture into this uncharted territory. I made you forget about these things from your mind to protect you. What are you doing going back into those spaces of your past? Why are you digging? Oh, okay. We can find gold in there. Okay. But it's scary. So I'm just trying to protect you, self. And that's okay. So don't let the brain, the mind, the ego trick you. Do it safely, though. If you have access to therapy, do it with a therapist. Do it with a professional so that you can be supported and guided. People think that a therapist is here to just tell you everything what to do. And I can imagine that people who haven't gone through therapy would think that. Or maybe people who have had not a good experience with therapy, how they would think that, but that's not how it is. If you go to a therapist, a good therapist won't tell you any answers. They're just going to ask you the right questions or give you the right homework assignments, the right things to work on or think about or to ponder. And they'll guide you back when your brain starts to protect you and take you to the left. The therapist with their professional skill will be like, no, don't be running over there. Come on back over here. Come on. We're going to stay right here focused. We're going to keep going down this. Because sometimes, like I'll say, like I acknowledged at the beginning of this episode, I don't even know if I actually finished acknowledging that. Some of the things that might keep me from recording this is protective mechanism. Is it ego? I don't know. You know what I mean? But I got ready. I woke up from my nap and I remembered, or I realized I had the revelation, right? Read the revelation. This is what I need to be recording about, but there's all these things that would have held me back. I prefer to record in the daytime. This night is 6:30 p.m. and it's dark outside. And I don't want to record at nighttime, but I always feel like recording at night. And then I always be like, oh, it's dark outside. I got to wait until tomorrow. Hopefully I'll just remember that I wanted to do this episode tomorrow. And tomorrow I never do. Okay. What else? I hadn't washed. I wanted to wash my face and, do something with my hair and clear the clutter back there on the couch and, all of that stuff. Be very prepared, have notes so that I wouldn't get off task. I wanted to do all of those things, but those were all just protective things. They were limitations. They were ego holding me back. Ego holds us back sometimes from our greatness. They hold us back from our community. It's like, if you feel like, I just want to find more like-minded people. I want to find my community. Ego sometimes will keep you isolated. Have you thinking, it's just me. So I got dressed as fast as I put on this shirt. I didn't even put on pants, okay? I put this shirt on, and I used the bathroom. I hurried up and I plugged in my computer and my microphone, my tripod, my light. I got everything together as quickly as I could. Got my water and my pen. And I wrote quickly on an envelope. Even though my journal is here, I have my journal, but I don't know, I'm a little funny about how I write things in my journal. And, but I was like, I know that I should, because I can always reference back to my journal. I won't reference back to this envelope. Nonetheless, I had to ask myself, what is the priority here? Is the priority to have everything perfect, or is the priority to get started on the journey? Right? And so your therapist, your guidance is going to help you stay on track instead of get caught up in the weeds, right? By the time that I would have done everything that I probably wanted to do to prepare for this episode, I would have either been too tired to record it. I would have been tired again, even though I just had a nap, but I probably would have been like, oh my God, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore, or distracted, or I probably would have started cleaning the house or listening to music, or listening to the music and cleaning or eating or any other thing, okay, than recording. So, let this not be a rant, but let it be just an encouraging of, just go ahead and do that thing. It don't have to be perfect, okay? Because I'm not even going to edit this. I'm not. Just gonna post it. And I'm searching for a routine, for a structure within this. I feel confident that as long as I continue to acknowledge my ruminations and insecurities, my limitations, I'll acknowledge them. That's a part of being present, is acknowledging them and then releasing them. That's a part of not letting them have control over me. That's a part of not having that tension, that tightness in the body. Because if I just let them go, then all of those things, they're not going to build up and weigh me down and have me so stuck that I do nothing. Okay, because all of that stuff, it just comes in. Oh my gosh, oh, your hair's not ready. You don't have your hair together. Your nails is jacked up, girl. You ain't washed your face. At least wash your face and put some lotion down. Put on some pants. Clean up your background, girl. Do these things. And that'll weigh me down. And then I'll be doing nothing instead of talking to y'all about how things build up in the body and cause us pain or discomfort. And sometimes it's not because of any physical injury, but because of the way that the trauma stores in the body. Have y'all read The Body Keeps the Score by, is it Bessel Vander? Let me type his name in on my computer. The Body Keeps the Score. That book is so good, y'all. Oh my God, it's so long. Bessel van der Kolk. Bessel van der Kolk. Just The Body Keeps the Score. Brain, mind, body in the healing of trauma. If you ever want to figure out how am I going to deal with things that are presented, if you have pain in your body, let me just say that. If you say to yourself, you know what, I have something going on and I identify that as pain in my body. If you identify something in your body as pain, read The Body Keeps the Score. And then there's Gabor Mate. Let me make sure. Let me see if there's any books by Gabor Mate. So Gabor Mate, Hungarian Canadian physician. If you have thoughts or feelings about mental health, mental diagnoses, mental labels that you might carry. If you live with anything like that, right? This is how Gabor Mate was introduced to me through my teacher, Janine. Gabor Mate was experienced to me through my trauma-informed yoga teacher, Janine. She taught me about Gabor Mate and how how to reframe the way that we understand or accept our beliefs around mental diagnoses. Mental, do I want to say mental? How do I want to put that? Mental, I'm going to just say mental diagnoses of the mental, of the psyche that people have been, that we're diagnosed with at times. If you ever have lived with anything like that, check him out. Pain presenting in the body keeps the score. It's going to talk about how pain buries itself in the fascia, in the muscles, and the systems of the body. And we carry them. Different experiences are going to bury them. And it even goes through like chakras, right? So like if it's a root experience, I think it might present itself like towards your root area, a childhood and early childhood experience, right? But read the book. If you have a chance, find a way to, you don't even have to read the whole thing. Just get into it and then get into it a little bit more every time. Okay. Have a sip of water real quick. All right. I hope I haven't lost you, but if I did, then sorry for you. And if you're still here, then thank you for listening. I hope it was helpful and informative. Do I have anything else? I think I'm done. So come back to the next episode. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to present this unedited, y'all. I'm scared. But that's it for now. Let's see. Tell people to listen if you think that this would be helpful to them. If you're listening and you found this helpful, let me know. Let me know if you found if you felt like it was helpful, if you want to talk about more things around this area. Let me know if there's other things that you're thinking about or that's just on your heart that you want to talk about. Let me know. I've released the belief that you can only talk about something one time, Keena. You cannot talk about this more than one time because you have to be an expert on this one topic for infinity. And if you don't cover everything there is to cover about this particular subject today, then girl, you didn't do it. You didn't do a good enough job preparing. You know, that's that voice in my head that be saying that stuff. And I have to be like, girl, stop. Girl, bye. Girl, boo. You don't know what you're talking about. Because I can come back to this topic I can come back to this topic 100 times if I want to. And every time it's going to be different. And every time it's going to have a little bit more insight. Have you watched the movie 10 times? How many times have you watched The Matrix? Okay. And got something different from it every time. How many times did I watch The Lion King? How many times do I listen to that song on the radio? Or on my phone? You know, how many times have I listened to Beyonce's album? It's not the same experience every time. So, girl, bye. I can come back to this topic again. So, if you want to talk about some more things on this subject, let me know, okay? Yes. I'm done for real. So, I'll talk to y'all next time. Thank you very much for tuning into this episode of Rougie Ruminations and Revelations. Peace. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this episode and look forward to what is next, take this moment to follow, share with someone who might enjoy this, and subscribe. Let's close out this time spent with a breath of closure. Close your eyes if it's safe to do so. Inhale through the nose. Slowly release the breath from the body. Until next time, thank you.